Mm.
I'm Dave Arnold, the Director of Culinary Technology at the French Culinary Institute, and we're here at my home kitchen in Manhattan to demonstrate a technique I developed for the Gourmet Whip Plus series of cream whippers. And they come in different sizes and types. This is a half-liter model. All of the recipes I'm going to do today are written for the half-liter model. This is a thermo whip. This actually, even though it looks bigger, also only holds a half-liter. This is really good for hot and cold preps. You need to keep hot and cold in the kitchen. And this is a 1-liter model. In short, what the technique is of rapid infusion, it's a very rapid way to infuse, to infuse liquors or to infuse oils in your kitchen without a lot of equipment and without spending a lot of time. Another thing to be careful of is most of the recipes I'm going to do today use these, which are nitrous whipped cream chargers. The cream ones. Nitrous is sweet, makes a creamy bubble, is not going to give the impression of seltzer on the tongue, and that's why we use it, okay? It's also very soluble in oil, which is another good reason why we use it. CO2 looks very different. The colors of the two chargers are different. CO2 is a soda charger. This is going to give the characteristic taste and mouthfeel of soda water, so you want to use it only when you want that soda water flavor. So nitrous is interesting because it's not just soluble in water, it's soluble in oil, so we can use it to make a flavored oil. Now we're gonna make lemon oil today with lemon zest, and we're just gonna, this is 45 grams of lemon zest. I just used a microplane to do it so that you wouldn't have any of the white in, so it's just the nice yellow part of the lemon, right? And we have some extra virgin olive oil. Now this is 2 cups. So we could make a lemon olive oil without using this technique by heating it, but that would destroy the flavor of the extra virgin olive oil. So instead, we're going to use our Gourmet Whip Plus. Very simple, just like before. Put our funnel in, which I really recommend you get the funnel because it makes loading this kind of thing a lot easier. And then you just pour your olive oil right over that to wash the last little bit down. Screw on the lid. By the way, when you're using the EC whippers, you want to make sure that you don't leave this thing very, very tight on here because then it can be hard to back it off. And especially if your hand's wet, it's going to be hard. They put this silicone here to give you a good grip on the new models, which is nice, but just make sure you back it off a little bit when you're done. One charger, you hear it go in, you shake it. Right now, the nitrous is pressurizing the oil into the lemon zest. Get our second charger. Remember, this recipe takes 2 chargers. If you change the size of the bottle or change the amount of liquid in here, the recipe might change, so you're gonna have to do some tests. Swirl it, make sure that nitrous really gets into the lemon zest. Right? And we're going to let this one sit for 3 minutes. So we've waited 3 minutes and now we're ready to vent. Remember, you want to vent quickly, but you want to catch anything that sprays out. You don't want oil spraying all over your kitchen. Not lucky, no spray. But if you look in, you'll see that it's really bubbling. We really want to let those bubbles settle down before we pour it off because we want to get the most flavor possible out of the lemon zest. So we've let the bubbles settle down a little bit. Now we're going to strain it out. So again, I like to use the integrated strainer funnel that EC sells for this purpose. You can see it's still foaming up a little bit, but that's fine. Press out some of the last little bit of oil. I don't want to lose any. This is expensive olive oil, and that's the reason why we're doing this technique. I don't want to heat the olive oil. I want to keep it nice and cold so I don't alter the flavor. So I'm going to use this in either in a cold prep or maybe just for bread, in some presentation where you don't want to heat it, because that's really the key to this technique, is that we don't want to add any heat to the olive oil. And the lemon smell is really there. And the taste is fantastic. It's going to get, like I say, stronger in flavor over the next 5 minutes or so, but it's already pretty much right there. So most of the time when we're doing rapid infusion, we're using the whipped cream chargers because we don't want to have the flavor of seltzer water in what we're doing. But this time we're actually going to make a soda, and so we're going to use the soda chargers. But I also want to show that this technique doesn't only work with alcohols and oils, you can do it in a non-alcoholic product. So we're going to make a soda with mint. So we have 25 grams of lightly chopped mint, right? And the reason I like to do this technique with mint is because you don't have to muddle it to get the flavor out. Because muddling in alcohol is fine, but when you muddle in water, sometimes it can taste kind of muddy and swampy, right? So we're going to put in 25 grams of mint, chop with a very sharp knife. We don't want to break all the cells apart. And this time we're starting with 350 milliliters of room temp water, but we're going to add some ice to chill it in a minute, which is going to bring it up to about 500 milliliters. This time, we're only going to use one charger to start. Swirl it for about 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to let it sit for a total of 3 minutes. So we're going to vent just like before. Now, this is warm and has a little bit of CO2, a little bit of bubbles in, but we need more to have it really be a refreshing soda. So we're going to add some ice to cool it down. Anytime you carbonate, you're going to want to have it cold. The colder something is when you're carbonating, the better the bubbles are going to be in there. I'm going to add about 150 grams of ice. Now we're going to hit it with a second CO2 charger. Always keep your charger straight in the kitchen. Don't confuse CO2 and nitrous chargers because they're entirely different. They both fit in the same machines, right? The cream whipper can use a soda charger and it can use a cream charger, but they taste totally different, so you want to keep them straight. Shake it a little bit. Now it's getting cold. I can feel it chilling down, and we're really getting the CO2 in here. It's really going to have a nice carbonated product. So we're going to take the glass, about 3 slices of fresh lime, about a teaspoon and a half of sugar. I'm just going to muddle it a little bit. That's going to get the lime juice and the sugar melted. And you can make several of these with this recipe. Now we're going to vent very slowly. And just in case. So I'm just going to pour it straight and let a couple little pieces of mint get in my drink. One little light stir, and there you have it. Very refreshing, very quick mint lime soda, where the mint is very, very fresh tasting. It doesn't taste swampy or bruised. It's a very light, fresh mint flavor.